It is the podcast,
which means it's Tuesday, which also means it's August 1st. How is it the 1st of August?
I don't know. Somebody posted a graphic today.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can pull it up. That was the countdowns.
Are you really? No one
You can keep talking. You keep talking. I'll keep it pulling up. Great. Listen, I have nothing going on in my life. This is all I have.
Is it the
Here
countdown to Christmas?
It's 91 days until Halloween. Thank you, Marcia, for posting this. 114 days till Thanksgiving. 146 days to Christmas. And 153 days till New Year's resolution time.
Wow. I'm going to start that one.
Okay. Your low energy is crap. I need you to buckle down and tell people what this podcast is
This
about.
podcast is all about how to grow your bakery business. Whether you're just starting out, you've already opened your brick and mortar, or you're on desk door. We're going to cover it here.
So it's safe to say we're in the second half of the year.
This is
Go time.
153 days till 2024.
We're not wrong. Very. How did you know that fast?
You know, little birdie told me.
Little birdie's been telling a lot of people a lot of things. But yeah, that is the podcast. And today I wanted to talk about play on the golden ratio. We want to talk about the gold ratio, the ratios that put money in your pockets and set you free from the expectations you're chaining yourself
The
to.
only ratio that I live by, the gold one, not my flowers to my water.
Can you
Baking jokes. You wouldn't get it.
I was literally thought you were talking about a potty plant. My flowers are dead. My water's dry. Okay. Well, but talking about the gold ratio. So when we work in marketing, it's easy, very easy to compare numerical value to numerical value, right? Kind of thrown in our face, Facebook saying, here's how many followers. You're like, here's your value on this planet Earth.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for 3 years and this baker's been doing this for 1 year. And look at how much more successful they are because of all the followers and likes they have, right? You can chime in with some knowledge.
No, you know,
anytime you want to.
When I listen
Anytime you
back
feel
to
inspired.
the podcast and we talk like at the same time.
At the same time.
Hold on, 1, 2, 3.
At the same time.
It's hard to hear, so I'm waiting for you to have a lull in your sentence.
Oh.
You never lull.
Lull
You're
incoming
a talker.
and lull.
I know. Anything to talk about.
I am fully lulled. So when we talk about ratios, we come up with 6 ratios that will set you free.
That was, you know,
Corey, your energy is
it.
sucking from my energy, and I can't carry us both on my back.
Why? It's because you're so much.
I am not a lot.
That I'm having to take the B-roll here a little to save these people.
Here, I'm gonna literally step back.
No, I don't have a list. Go then, Rocio.
Give me some information on your perspective of ratios.
Ratios? I was never good at math. I have no idea.
Did you ever cheat off my math homework?
We never got to sit next to each other.
I don't know what you do, man.
No.
Do you go into my little math
Me and
book?
this girl and Brittany,
You
right
cheated?
before math class, would take a calculator.
We weren't allowed to use calculators.
Hail Mary in the dark of the night. Because we babysat kids right before math class happened.
Quality education right there.
These kids are taking their naps. They're kindergartners. And we're like, what's the answer
For consumer math?
Basic math.
It's consumer math.
I don't know. Whatever you could use a calculator on.
So bringing it back to not comparing numerical value. So if you compared, how many likes does Mixing Bowl Cookie Company have on Instagram?
I've been stuck at 10.9.
So you guys going to go follow Corey.
I don't know. Am I close to 11? Am I far away from 11? It's been 10.9 for months.
And who would you consider like a baking influencer?
The Miller's Wife has a ton. I think 100,000.
Okay, so when we look at Corey's meager, tiny 10.9, and then we look at Miller's Wife's 100,000, Corey is a loser. The bottom of the barrel. Why are you even following? Everyone unfollow Corey.
Go follow Miller's Wife.
So when we look at ratios in that term, we can stop doing the subtraction. So we're taking subtraction problem, 100,000 versus 2. Where you have nothing. She has it all. The talent, the beauty, and the brilliance. And then we're going to do them to ratios. And now you're like, okay, the ratio of Corey to the Miller's Wife. No, still incorrect comparison. We want to do the ratio of engagement per post against Corey's total follower count. So what that's going to do is it's going to give us a percentage. Mm-hmm. And the Miller's Wife, bless this person we're talking about.
I'm going to call her Mrs. Miller.
Mrs. Miller wife of Mr. Miller, she's going to have an engagement ratio 2.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that number, 100,000, divided by the engagement per post. That is a percentage. And Corey and the Miller's wife, if they've done this correctly, should have actually pretty close ratios.
True.
So that percentage is going to set you free, because at the end of the day, I used to do website flipping.
Yeah.
It's very easy to sell a website by skewing the numbers in terms of ratios.
I mean, you can make anything sound
You
good.
can make anything sound good. So when we talked about flipping websites, people would ask for various metrics. And if all these metrics lined up, it dictated whether it's a healthy website or just like a churn and burn type site. And they'd say, okay, how many clicks? That's your first ratio. So we got to say, oh, that was the bedazzled number. I'm getting 1 million clicks. Like, okay. But are those valuable clicks? So they say within that click, how many are clicking through? A lot of these websites were affiliate sites. How many people are clicking through, and what are the affiliate earning numbers? There. Now we've got 2 numbers. We got a ratio.
Yeah. So if you're tying that back into Instagram.
Can I open my Diet Coke?
Go ahead.
You know it's going to be a good one. That last one.
Yeah. If you're tying this back into Instagram, you might be like, no, I just want a lot of followers like the Miller's wife. That's a great goal to have in your mind, but followers don't pay bills. They don't put money in your pocket. They're awesome, I guess, to look at.
Before you dog on the Miller's wife, she's selling classes, right? Does she teach classes?
No, I'm not saying like
You're
dogging
like
on her.
her followers are worthless.
No, just you can't, your goal can't be,
Yes.
I just want more followers. It has to be something a little bit more substantial, like Miller's wife does sell classes.
Great. So her followers are bakers.
Yeah.
Her followers are bakers internationally.
They're
Her
everywhere.
pool to pull from is much bigger than the baker who lives down the street who can't ship, right? So there you go as another ratio. So Corey's saying, like, within some people, we were talking about this in the Cookie College. Someone was like, shit, buying followers. What is the vibe there? And I said, you know what? The importance is when I compare your page to your closest competitor. Again, we got in a ratio there. What I don't want to see, Corey and I had this client who had bought followers back when it was a lot easier, and it didn't absolutely tank. Yeah. And it was an IT guy here locally, could only service locally, and he had 50,000 followers. And the engagement per post was 2 likes.
Yeah.
This is back before there was even reactions. So it was even worse.
Yeah.
And the 2 likes was applicable for boring content for a local IT company. The 50,000 followers was a huge red flag that something was not as it seems.
But I think what happens, especially if you're like newer to business, you're not like in the marketing field, you focus on that overall big number, and you're like, I'm nothing against that giant number. These people have so many more followers than I do. But in the end, that ratio is not what matters.
In the end.
What song is that from?
Old song. I don't like your attitude today. I'm going to need you to check it in the commercial break.
It's because every time I was saying a word, you were like correcting me. Like, what did you think the tower was?
See?
Okay.
Okay, I said to Corey, can you get the memory card from my computer tower? And she's like, there's no memory card in that. Don't say it with that definitive
I was
wrongness.
like, I got you a memory card. Listen, got you a memory card. That's broken. Why have it there then?
It literally wasn't in the tower. I know,
But
because
then you
it's
still
broken.
not working this week. It didn't work last
We're
week.
pivoting. The content of today's podcast is to not have a twin sister. The world is not cut out for 2 of the same person.
Really not.
Read the memory, Mom. Like, why? That wasn't fair. And she's like, it was hard.
But she can't. She didn't know she was having twins. She didn't plan for 2. She didn't plan for 1.
Your attitude today is like your follower count. It's crappy.
You're pointing out my attitude makes me have more of an attitude, so you can point something out.
What?
You pointing out my attitude is giving me more of an attitude.
Well, what am I supposed to do when you have one?
I don't
Act
have
like it's
one.
normal?
I don't have one.
People who say they don't have one have one. Okay, back to ratios. So engagement ratio is the first one we talked about. Find out who your target audience is. Cultivate that audience. And if you end up with 300 people and 300 people are engaging, you have a 100% engagement rate. It's unrealistic to have that, but wouldn't that be nifty?
That would be nifty.
I'd rather 100% engagement rate than 100,000 followers, except for Miller's wife, who probably does really great things and she has a different vertical. Local bakers, you should have an ideally local audience unless you're selling baking classes or at the cooking challenge.
So my 10.9 ain't so bad now.
No.
That's pretty good.
What's your engagement rate?
Okay, you know, I've really been sucking at responding to comments. So I said today, Corey, if you want to post something else, you go respond to the comments on the prior post.
Half New Year's resolutions. Love it.
Yeah.
My little sister is doing half New Year's resolutions. It was no blush and eat a prune every night.
She is addicted to buying blush, but blush is always pink. She's
not
a ton
go fight her. When I said, oh, did you get a little sunburn? Got a little. She's like, that's blush. She put it on her forehead to look sunburned. She said it makes her look sun kissed.
Wow.
I said sun
I
make
could
out
use
session.
A little sun
Yeah,
kiss. I'm glowing.
She was on fire. Another ratio I want to talk about is, and this one I see pretty commonly because it's such a low number, so the ratio is kind of has a bigger impact, is class seating ratios. Corey and I teach a class. There's 2 of us, obviously. Have been able to get rid of her yet. And we seat 10 people. So really per person, per instructor, there's only 5 people. It's pretty easy for us to book out because, one, we've been doing this for many years, so the funnel is there. But also, it's a small room. So it is very simple for us to say sold out. Yeah. All we have to do is get 10 butts in seats. Now, some of you guys are crazy.
And teaching like 50 people.
You guys like rented out a church auditorium. And you're like, I'm teaching. I haven't been able to fill. I've only filled 50 seats. Yeah. Trash. I don't know how to market.
The thing is, you have to realize that, and especially now that this busy season is upon us, we have back to school. We're going to just flow right into Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. You're going to see
Do you happen to know how far away those days are?
54 days. You're going to see people saying, oh my goodness, I sold out of this class. I sold out of whatchamacallit. And you're going to feel bad.
Yeah. You're going to feel like Corey's Instagram following.
This is what you're going to say. I had a classroom that I could fit 50 people in. I've only sold 10. But that person who just said that they sold out 10 tickets. Mm-hmm. You guys technically
have the same ratio.
Are just as successful.
Right. So, well, technically 10 and 10. If you sold the same amount, your ratio is out because you're like, well, I'm filling a seat at 50. You got to understand that their ratio is at capacity because they have so few seats. If you taught a class of 5, we don't know. We have no idea if the person who just sold out of every class to the end of the year is only seating 5 people once a month.
But we almost only see things out of our point of view. That if I have 50 seats to fill, they probably had 50 seats to fill. So when they said they're sold out, what am I doing wrong?
Everything.
Yeah.
You're doing it all wrong.
Absolutely.
Find the Miller's wife and do what she does.
Replicate her. Become the Miller's wife.
Tell Mr. Miller he now has 2 wives. Another one I want to talk about is pre-sale ratio. So pre-sales are a weird term. I didn't know about them until I got to the cookie world.
I know.
And explain to us what a pre-sale is.
Pre-sale is when you make one design. So Elf on the Shelf's coming up. I make one cookie, one elf. It has one name
photo
on it. Take a photo and I say, who wants this bad boy? Sign up. I'm only selling 10. If I sell out 10, I've pre-sold 10, so then I'll get to baking.
The benefit and the detriment of pre-selling. So a pre-sale means you know exactly what you're baking. Mm-hmm. You know, as soon as you close up orders, that's exactly, I didn't have to spend a lot of time. I made one and I sold it out. The detriment of pre-sales is they often have to happen long before the event. There's no last minute on pre-sales because you're pre-selling for an event. So people who kind of work last minute, pre-sales probably aren't designed for your brain chemistry. People who like to work very much ahead and have cultivated an audience that likes to work ahead, pre-sales are probably designed for you.
For people who, that's not your brain chemistry, pop-ups. That's your brain chemistry. Hey, I made a bunch of cookies. And
which pre-sales and pop-ups, I would say, are the polar opposites. Lots of P's in this. Pre-sales, pop-ups, polar opposites. The Miller's wives.
People.
All of 100,000 of them. So when we see people...
a lot of people.
This thing is to design this little screen as
a top and a P.
Yeah. P right in there.
P right in
there. So pre-sales, a lot of people sold out of my pre-sale. How many? How many? A lot of times what I would suggest for pre-sales is tell people you're selling 10 of a unit. And when that runs low and you want to add another 10, go ahead and add that. So again, that number is forever moving, but it's a ratio. How many did they plan to sell? Remember with the pre-sale, you can say, well, I wanted to sell 100. I only sold 10. I'm sold out. There's no risk to not sell your goal.
And also, when you see other bakers, I sold out of my pre-sale. One, do they have a full-time job? Is this something they're doing after hours and they can only make 20 sets? Mm-hmm. Because that plays a factor into how they sold out. Do they have kids at home? Is this their full-time thing? To judge yourself by the words of someone else is dangerous because you don't know. If I'm a slow decorator, I could sell five of that little Elf on the Shelf, dude,
Absolutely.
And then the day's over.
Yeah. And then you fall prey, another P there, right? You hold on to that. The golden ratio. You fall prey to comparison, and comparison is the thief of joy. But when we revert back to ratios, so Heather, Corey, how do I not compare myself to other people?
Heather.
I can't know. It's all I think about now. The greatest way to do that is to come up with your own goals.
Yeah.
The goals are founded off of the time limits and time constraints and availability that you have specific to your life. So to go into a Facebook Live and take that and be like, well, this person whose entire life is a pre-sale, they sold 1,000 units, which I've never seen before, but let's just pretend. Yeah. And to say, well, now I'm going to choose 1,000. Well, that's an arbitrary goal. It's not founded in the reality of your specific life.
And I think often with pre-sales, a lot of people will be like, pre-sales sound awesome. They do. I get to choose the design. I get to choose the colors.
It's awesome for the baker.
It's awesome
not
for the baker.
It's not as awesome for the client.
Yeah, but then the client's not a lot of. It takes the guesswork out of it,
right? For the baker, but the client's like, I don't even know when Christmas
clients,
is.
When you say, "What do you want?" Then they have. I don't know. I'm going to send you 50 photos. Yeah. This is like, you want these M&M cookies. I'm giving you these M&M cookies. Shake hands and depart. The problem with. See, you took me off there. Yeah, I was really going down to the pulpit for my altar call.
Why you can't compare is because Corey and I are walking versions of being compared. People would be like, "You're the fat one," and I'd be like, "Thank you, yeah, I appreciate it. I stole the bigger cookie. What do you want me to say?
You're the more athletic one."
Corey was the funnier one.
I was
definitely.
Then
stole
I felt
that
like I
back.
lost my funniness when I got married.
Oh, did you? And then you were they voted Corey president of the girls club.
I did.
I was over here being the fatter one.
You were the smarter one.
Smarter one. I was. I will calculate how to overthrow you. So, anyways, you can't compare. Obviously, it creates two monsters.
Here's what I was going to say.
Excuse us.
Bakers will be like, I tried a pre-sale. It flopped the first time, so they don't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
You just tried one time. What do you mean they don't work for you?
Well, that is a generalization.
What do you mean?
To say it doesn't work for me. Like,
yeah.
You can't generalize it.
I see it all the time in the group. Pre-sales don't work for me. First off, is your audience hearing about a pre-sale for the first time? The word is weird.
I do not know
pre-sale. There's a P in there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we know there's P in there.
A lot of people don't understand what it means. And if your audience has never experienced pre-sales before, can you blame them?
There's a story, and I think it might have been like a lot of times we are like electric cars. Well, Tesla came out with it. No. Electric cars came to market before that, but you always have the one person who falls on their sword by paving the way, and the other person who enters the market and gets to capitalize on it. I think that's something to do with computers and Microsoft, but I don't remember what it was. But it's easy to be like, oh yeah, I have a computer. But at one point, people were like, what are these?
Yeah.
And somebody was like, well, let me introduce this to market. The company that has to introduce a new concept to a market is paying a lot of the marketing price for the rest of us.
You're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, especially if you're in a smaller town and you're like, people don't do pre-sales around here. I'm going to try it. Okay, well, you now have to train your audience. You have to educate
Is
them
there a
what
better
pre-sales
word
are.
for pre-sales?
I feel like there is.
I feel like there is.
Word.
Everyone brainstorm.
But it's just like saying drop
all two
shipping.
of you on the podcast.
Drop shipping for a t-shirt. That makes no sense. I would be like, what does that mean?
I know, that's an industry jargon.
It's an industry. That was tough.
That's another one. So let's take that same concept to I'm booked. I'm fully booked for the year. I'm fully booked for July. I'm fully booked for the quarter.
You'll see as you're stalking the Miller's Wife and folks with that kind of following, you'll see that in their bios it'll be like booked for 2023.
If I was a content creator, I would be booked for customs because I'm not taking them.
Exactly.
Right. So when we do the booked ratio, so here's again, let's bring the goal back into the herd, right? So you say, okay, listen, my goal for August is, let's say 20 dozen.
Okay.
So however, if that's 2 dozen, if that's 5 dozen, if that's 1 dozen, I want to sell 20 dozen in August. Okay. I sold 18 dozen. What's my ratio? 90%?
Sure.
So that would be phenomenal. But if I say, well, I want to sell 20 dozen, but this person is booked, well, of course they beat me. You didn't reach 100%, and they did.
Yeah.
But the ratio is that you're at a 90% booking rate. They didn't take any orders.
Yeah.
So there's no way we can compare the two.
And you'll never know what's behind the curtain of your competitor baker.
I think every baker is like, oh, look away. That little man over there is not me.
So for me to be like, oh my guys, you guys sold me out to the rest of the year. Now taking orders for 2024. What if I took off all of December so I could spend time with my family? Did you take that into account? No, I'm not going to tell you that, hopefully not.
Corey and I used to teach 3 classes a Saturday, twice a month. It was ridiculous. It was miserable. So now we've brought it way back, but now I can still say we're sold out.
Yeah.
It looks the same.
We sold out.
A lot has changed, but the word we're sold out. The class is booked.
You never know what's behind the closed doors behind that baker. How many dozens can they take? Is this a full-time job? Are they stepping back because,
Or do they have different revenue streams? If we look at people like the Miller's Wife and the Cookie College, those are revenue streams.
I like avenue streams.
Avenue streams, back road with
to revenue.
Well, that's from our marketing tip. Those are revenue streams that don't involve customs, so it is very easy to say the word's booked. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't know if you're taking orders.
Yeah, I like to leave.
Corey's a moving target. She's a little green man.
Listen, if you can get over
the Wizard of Oz,
if you can get over my hurdles and end up in my inbox, I'll probably take your order.
Another one. So this is going to bring this back to email and websites. Is click-through rates. So when I send out the Wednesday email, which I got to type up. Last week, I sent the wrong link, and you all have not stopped clicking it.
Someone's like,
you guys are like, no, I'm going to click that 30 times.
When they clicked on it, what happened?
2 notifications every time. Every click is 2 notifications on my phone.
But what were they seeing on their end?
It said ask for. So what happens is I forgot to replace the old link with a new link. So when they went to the old link had been expired, and I sent the new link, but people were like, nah, the old link. I'm going to click on that. I sent you the new link, so the banana transfer is accessible. But when I send an email, so let's say right now we have around 5,200 subscribers for the Wednesday newsletter. Back to ratio, we have 40,000 people in the group. Crap.
Yeah. Guys, sign up.
Sign up to the Wednesday.
It's free.
I post about it every week.
You get a transfer.
You get a transfer. I know. Started throwing in a funny meme at the bottom.
What?
Just a little something.
Just a little something.
A little jokey joke.
Giggly.
A little fun pipe.
Is it a repurposed one from like social media?
I probably something I taken from the page in the last week.
So if you've been on the page, you've
seen it. It's going to be
the
bead one. The bead one.
Oh, I see.
Or maybe I'll make a new one tonight. We just don't know.
Let's see.
But when we send out an email, okay, you say, I sent out an email to 5,200 people. Then we have the open rate. How many people open that email? We have the deliverability rate, which is already around 3,000. There's a bunch of people who don't get that. Yahoo and AWOL, looking at you. So we have the deliverability rate. So now our number has been halved or quartered or thirded or nothing. And then we have the open rate. How many people that got the email opened it? Then we have the click-through rate. How many people who got the email, opened it, read it, and clicked? Right. So when we talk about that, the rate is a ratio, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do, I don't want to compare myself to somebody who writes really exciting information or somebody who writes really boring information. If I peg my goal against somebody who's boring and I'm hilarious and those memes are great, then I'm going to look like a superstar, when in reality, that's not realistic comparison.
That's apples to oranges. If you're not selling the same thing in the same way, you can't compare yourself.
No, but what I can compare myself to, and this is what we should always be comparing ourselves to, is me last week on Wednesday.
Yes.
So every time I send an email, I can review what the email before, its performance. And if I can increase my ratios by 1% from myself the week before, that is an ideal goal. And that is an ideal method of increasing the value of your marketing. Mm-hmm. Now, when it goes down, it's because the banana transfer sheets were locked.
I will say, if you are consistent in your marketing, you have a little strategy sprinkled in there. When you compare yourself from yourself right now, from yourself last year, you're going to have a smile on your face. Heather loves to say, where you water, it will grow. So if you're consistent.
Am I that boring?
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're consistent and you water your stuff, it's going to grow.
I would say marketing, pitching this idea, 90% consistency, 10% value added.
Yeah.
If you can out-consistent somebody who's better than you. Watch out, the Miller's Wife. Corey's coming slowly.
Coming forward. I'm going to have to learn a lot of decorating.
You can out-consistent your competitor. You don't have to outsmart them. You don't have to out-hit the pavement more than them. You just have to be out-consistent. But here's the thing. If they out-consistent you, they can beat you. Even if they're not as talented as you.
Yeah.
They can do it because they're more consistent. In marketing, a lot of it is consistency. Sprinkle in good photos, sprinkle in value-added content.
Just a little strategy here and there.
Yeah, you can't slam people with sales posts and be like, why isn't it working? I was consistently bothering everybody.
But having that perspective, if you compare yourself to the baker down the street that seems to always be sold out, you're going to be sad. It's going to put a damper on your business. You're going to say, why am I doing this? I'm never sold out like they are. But you compare yourself to yourself last week, last month, last year. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a totally different feeling. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel excited about your business.
Unless it's not good. Better.
But if you're consistent, like if you're putting in a marketing packet.
Every Monday morning marketing meeting with the Miracles, the 5M.
Yeah.
I tell Corey, here's just a report of the metrics that I like to track, right? And one of them we talk about is the social media profiles. Outside of that one day where Instagram had that glitch and everybody lost all their followers, every week it's grown. I've never reported a negative number.
And that is not because of talent.
No.
That's literally just because of consistency.
Fire memes. Oh, wait, consistency.
And memeage.
But yeah, the consistent Corey and I, since Facebook loves to throw these numbers in our face, can see when she posts consistent reels versus, and unfortunately, it's so effective being consistent at reels. Do you think your content is mind blowing? Yes.
No.
A little bit.
Not at all.
Somewhat. I'll say it's interesting. You're unboxing crap. I just want to see it.
The content I'm making is what catches me on TikTok. Like, why do I care what this person got?
You know what I love on TikTok? 5 things you need to buy on Amazon right now. I don't know. It has me in a headlock.
Yeah.
The amount of those I've saved. I'm never going to buy this stuff. But I like to know.
I love to see what someone's ordering. Save me my money. Let me see what you ordered.
Let me live through your
that contact high.
Yeah, so when we're talking about that, it's important to compare yourself to yourself a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. And if that graph is trending upward, your marketing is doing well.
If I compared my kind of dumb videos to like the well-curated downtown cookie dough lady.
Oh, hers are good.
Hers are great. I'll feel like quitting.
Yes.
So I cannot compare. But if I compare about my videos from this time last year when I was first starting out with videos,
you're going to look like a superstar.
I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, this was the best thing ever.
Right. So that is important. And ratios and comparison, hooking your ratio to the right comparison is really going to help you move in the right direction. Otherwise, you will quit. You will be sad. I can't help it.
It's so hard to put time and energy towards something and then look back and I'm sad. Why am I sad right now?
Because you looked at somebody else's time and energy and said, why didn't I live up to that? You guys have different time and energy. The last one is an important one, and it's the profit ratio. So again, percentages is a ratio. So like when we say, the average profit percentage, you should be considering around 15%, 20% in a healthy. If you're aggressive in spending, then maybe that'll be a little bit less. So if we're doing discounting, maybe at 10%, you got to be above 0%, unless it's strategic charity. Don't be 0% all the time. You'll be selling out though. That's for sure. You're going to be able to keep those 20 dozen. Absolutely. So when we talk about the profit ratio, somebody can be like, I see this and I like that on the Wednesday Win posts. They'll be like, I paid my mortgage note this month with cookie money. You might be like, they paid $3,500 in cookie money, but that's Northern Virginia's mortgage rate. Yeah. So this is a high cost of living area. If we lived in a more rural area, that would be a very relative number. $800 could be someone's mortgage note, and they could have paid towards that. And $800 in profit is a lot more attainable than $3,500 in profit, both of which are attainable depending on how you approach this. So when we talk about profit margin, the ratio there is, I'd love to say, if you could consistently, slowly raise your profit, success.
Yeah. You might look at me over here charging $75 doesn't, you're like, I could never. But people in this area, we live in one of the richest counties in America, are willing to pay those prices.
They also paid $40 to get to work in the toll roads. It is pocket change.
We're throwing money outside of our cars here. But if you have a profit margin that is making you successful, might not be as much as the one I have here, but everything costs more here.
Corey's profit margin could be less just for the fact that going to the grocery store for us is spending a lot more time in traffic and in lines than it would be in a more rural county. So what I would like to say is you have that one be the barometer of success, right? So again, if you charge 0% profit, you could easily sell 20 dozen over the person charging 20% profit in their cost. But that person's making no money. So are they successful? Relatively, no, not according to business.
But if you heard someone, I sell 20 dozen a week.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what am I doing with my hands?
A couple of years ago, I got into like a cognitive discussion with a member in the main group who had said like, well, I have more, like, no, I should not raise my prices. I have more work than I can ever handle. And I said, well, then question, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but when was the last time you spent time with your kids? And they were like, I don't hardly know their names. I'm so busy. And I said, that right there is the difference between charging that profit margin, making more per order, and taking fewer orders. So again, for me, for my business, that profit margin is the barometer of success. And it's compared to myself a year ago.
Yeah. That's Honestly, when I wake up and I have a video that does not maybe perform as well, a post that doesn't perform as well as I thought it would, I could get real sad. But what I've taught myself is if I get at least one view, one like, and one comment, success.
More views, likes, and comments than if you hadn't posted anything.
Yeah.
Corey told me to write. Sometimes I write this long form content. We call it fireside chats or something. She was like, "Hey, post that to the page." We're in this like monetization thing. Like, if any engagement, we should have led with this.
We should have led with that.
Any engagement we get on the Facebook page for the next 30 days, Facebook will pay us. How much? Nobody knows.
Yeah, but the cap is $30,000.
Yeah, we'll never see if we make $30,000. We'll cancel the podcast. You'll never hear from us again. But Corey said any money we generate from that, we're going to put into the group as a giveaway. So if it's $10, you guys can fight over a chocolate bar. If it's $10,000, we'll do like a couple of
something fun. But we need your engagement, and it doesn't really necessarily count on Reels, but it counts on posts. So that's why you'll see more posts.
Fire memeage coming your way.
Fire!
It is all being designed. So Corey said, "Hey, let's test some of those fireside chat long form content posts on the page. We're only getting paid for the page. Mm-hmm. You're not getting paid for anything else. All that humor is wasted." Yeah. So I had posted one, did really well about sales versus marketing. And then I posted one today, which was absolutely phenomenal and got no engagement at all. Should we no longer post those?
Yes. Just kidding. No, you don't want to gauge. There's now, Heather, just
we only have two. That's not enough data points to really make a decision. And plus, right now, Facebook says post whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue posting this long form content, see how it performs, and then assess a different strategy. But again, we got to be consistent. It's not an emotional decision.
Yeah. If Heather gives up now, but like the next post she was going to do was going to be the one that like gave us the $30,000
viral,
and she quit before it happened, how would she know?
I wouldn't know.
You know what she would take away from that?
I shouldn't post long form content.
It's not good.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are our ratios: engagement, class seating ratio, pre-sale ratio, book ratio, click-through rates, and profit ratio. Those are better barometers to grade yourself on than looking at the blessed Miller's wife and saying, "Corey's only got 10.9. You suck."
Yeah, like I should quit tomorrow.
You should stop teaching people how to market.
Yeah, because I apparently don't know
Not
how
a clue,
to do
man.
it myself.
When were you born? Have you heard this new app called Threads came out?
Apparently so.
So that is something to consider. Hopefully it sets you mentally free.
You really, honestly, if it's okay to unfollow somebody, to unfriend somebody, if someone's putting you in a headspace where you're questioning your value,
it's not their fault.
It's not their fault, but if you need to take a little bit of break.
And do some introspection. Don't just block the person and be like, aha, I'm better. No, there's some that.
Saying, aha,
you can do that for a little while. There's a cognitive dissonance in your head, and to address the foundational causes of it.
Yeah.
Look, somebody's liking the page. 2017. To address the foundational causes of that, whether it's jealousy or comparison or analysis paralysis, to address that, to firm that up, find you some books. Audible has removed a lot of our excuses. Yeah. You can easily almost find a therapist on Audible and firm up what that is and then enter the space. You're going to be in a better headspace. You're going to be in a better comparison space to really rock your own socks.
Yeah. And you should be the one rocking your own socks, not someone else's sold out, not sold out, you selling out. You need to just compare yourself to the last time you compared yourself. Mm-hmm. Old Corey.
And work off of ratios. Because Corey's, like, I think last month it was like, you reached 1 million people on Facebook, and this month you're trash. What happened?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so we could be like, well, I got to quit. You know, it did well last month, didn't do well this month. But no, what we're going to say is like, okay, what worked last month? What can we pull from last month that we can pull into this month? Mm-hmm. And
it's going to make you a happier baker.
Yeah, and then you're guaranteed going to be successful because that's the way incremental improvements work.
Yeah.
Based on your own comparison data, is that slowly and consistently you will move up. And that's all it really is.
And not everything's going to be, an out of the park hit. Some of my videos, trash.
Some of them, great. Some of them, trash. I do not know why.
I'm sure it's my voice. Someone's like, I'm hearing your voice all over TikTok. How many accounts do you run?
This annoying voice is surrounding all of you all.
Oh, poor you.
Let's jump into events. We actually had Heather Campbell-Brookshire. Murderer. No, I was saying, why do we always say this, like her name, like a serial killer?
It's because you almost have to pause. Heather, pause. Campbell, pause. Brookshire. Heather, Campbell, Brookshire. It's a lot of start and stops.
A lot of multi-syllable words.
Lots.
She had said, hey, girls, the way you're describing the way CookieCon works is very confusing. And she has sent an email.
Good.
With less confusing.
We need light.
So I'm going to read it. Let me find it. Where did I put you? Okay. She says, I had someone reach out to me this week that needed some clarification about the happy hour after hearing it on the podcast. That was my fault and yours.
Okay.
While the add-on classes start early on Wednesday, the opening ceremony isn't until Thursday. So she was a little bit confused about happy hour, if it would be on Tuesday or Wednesday. I double-checked. It's on Tuesday. Would you mind clearing up that on the pod this week? So, yeah, very incorrect there. Corey and I said we're before the opening ceremony. Technically not wrong. But we're a little bit farther before the opening ceremony than I thought.
We're before cooking.
Literally, yeah. So we'll be there on Tuesday at 5:30. We will be in the convention center. It is huge. It is stunning. We'll find one of the restaurants there and we'll just casually say meet up. There's an event on Facebook in the Sugar Cookie Marketing group, of which Heather Campbell, Brookshire, is a sponsor. She's also a Disney trip planner. Apparently, this girl's just organizing our lives.
Yeah, if you are like, I want to go to CookieCon, I'm undecided, go. This one is the best location because you can also go to places like Disney Springs, which I did not know existed.
Disney Springs, Sprung is fun.
It's like a taste of Disney.
Yeah, without the kids.
There's still kids
there. I know, but it's like you can also go to a fancy restaurant.
There was a Lego store and people were loving whatever that was.
We went during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was like lines out the door.
It was. We ate at the Rainforest Cafe.
Is the Rainforest Cafe food good?
No.
I don't know. You can't tell over the thunder and lightning.
And the rainfall.
The rainfall.
Oh, it's an experience.
It's an experience. Corey and I they used to have one at Tyson's Mall.
Yeah, they did.
We didn't realize we were sleeping on gold.
Yeah. I didn't know they were going to take it from us and never give it back.
Yeah. And now what is it? A shuttered Forever 21?
Yeah. Yes.
We had an alligator and now we have
their profit margin was it low? I feel like it was always crowded there.
Yeah, it was in the armpit before. You remember when they expanded Tyson's? Yeah. I think that's what shut them down.
But come on.
I know. It was so fun.
I know.
Anyways, well, you can have Heather Campbell, Brookshire, plan that for you at CookieCon. The happy hour is on Tuesday, which is less than a month away.
Wow.
This is August 1st, kids. And then CookieCon will start at the end of August and I think run into September.
And then it'll be the...
Buckle up.
Yeah. 1,000-year revolt.
Heather Campbell Brookshire taught a Facebook Live yesterday on Cookie Competitions 101. She has been on TV. She has been on the Food Network Challenge multiple times.
Honestly, if you want to be on a Christmas challenge, you can sign up and
here's what I want to warn people. If I've learned anything about the Food Network Challenge is they're going to solicit you and feel like Susan Reed spammed you.
Yeah.
That is how they
end
find
up in
competitors.
Your extra folder DMs on Instagram.
With a copy pasta that looks like somebody spammed it out. But that's how they do it, and it's legit.
Yeah.
I'd
say, but you can go to the websites and sign up to see if you could be picked.
I do not like rejection at all.
Someone ended up in our DMs, but I was like, me and Heather on a baking show.
I could do it. Tell me where to go.
What could you do?
Run. Turn on the ovens. Turn off the ovens.
I'm not a
stir.
recipe developer. If they were like, yeah, we need one little special where you bake
I can build something out of graham cracker.
We need a tart.
I can be sour.
Here's other.
I can really bring a really bad attitude.
I just think it would be chaotic if it was me and you. I feel like it would really test our sisterhood. And we'd either
But I think reality TV likes that dynamic.
I'd be sweating.
Absolutely. I would armpit sweat through my shirt, through my apron.
I saw the one where they did giant Easter baskets.
I watched that
made
one.
of crispy.
Were we together?
What's that?
I have watched it.
Rice
it was huge.
Krispies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would die. If a piece of fondant kind of fell off on the side, I would walk off.
Were we at CookieCon when we watched that?
Could have been.
Yeah.
I
don't usually snuggle up with Corey and watch TV, just so you guys know.
Especially not the cooking channel.
Yeah. So I think we could.
I would
like to be a judge.
Oh, yeah. I'd love
judging
to be a judge.
people. And then I get to eat at the end. I'm already doing that at season 52.
How can we comment on someone's tartlet?
I could die. I can taste. That's super tart. I could do it. Anyways, if you want to learn about cookie competitions and how to enter and how they go and what to expect, I think even down to competing at CookieCon, she covers that in a Facebook Live. Go to the events tab, go to past events, and you'll see it pinned there.
I'd say it's great to compete at CookieCon. If you're going to start now on your little piece or whatever.
That seems so stressful. Honestly, getting that cookie there.
Yeah. But the prizes you could win.
I know.
Amazing.
We had to do church school competitions growing up. Nothing has scarred me more as an adult than performing in a jury of my peers, something I wasn't good at, and then getting scored on it.
I know. My son did it. He had to draw a coat of arms. I want you to just...
Did they just surprise him with it?
Yeah, but this is what he drew. Imagine your arm. Your hand is extended, and it's wearing a coat. That
is not wrong. It is not
It
wrong.
looked like
Who
a
told
rock
them to
pump.
draw?
Huh?
Who picked that?
I have no idea.
Did Odax were like, you
I
can
don't
draw
know.
this
I
obscure
think
thing?
he just heard the word coat of arms and was like, I'm going to draw an arm with
Leave
a
it
coat
to
on
your
it.
kid to pick something obscure. He didn't know what it was.
It looked like a rock and roll arm.
Do you have a picture of it?
I do.
I would like to see it
I was
post
like, when
podcast.
he first showed me what it was and didn't say it was coat of arms, I was like, what am I looking at?
You can't do that when somebody's trying their best.
But how could I?
You say, whatever this is the best thing I've ever seen of it in my life. How have I lived this long without
The
seeing
arm had
this?
little legs.
Well, it had to walk to get its arm, its coat. So that is the only Facebook Live. If you'd like to add a Facebook Live,
You don't have to be a pro.
no, you
can
just
talk.
yeah. And if you sign up, you get an autoresponder with how to go live and stuff like that from me.
I'll sign up for how not to grow your Instagram.
sugarcookiemarketing.com/live. Mixing Bowl Cookie Company, please give it a follow so Corey doesn't look like a loser.
Just give me till 11.
Do you want bakers following you?
Yeah. I don't really get sales from Instagram that much.
Follow Corey for more marketing tips on how to grow your business.
Well, I'm not trying to really get them.
Follow Corey for more consistency tips on how to grow your
But I will start commenting back to you, I promise.
So moving forward, talk about the cookie couch. What have you been working on?
Oh, guys, I will say, I've been doing almost now a year of these cookie class kits. And if you're unfamiliar with what cookie class kits is, if you've ever wanted to teach a cookie class, but you're like, it's a little overwhelming, I don't know what designs to do. I came up with 10 different colors. It's just too much. We make it simple for you with cookie class kits. Each month is a new theme. We provide the colors, the cutters, the cutter designs. You order the cutters through Sweet Pink Olive. We provide the PowerPoint step by step, so you can either print it out, use it at home and really learn the designs yourself so you can teach it in class, or project it somewhere in your cookie decorating space for people to follow along. You get promo photos, you get just enough to teach a cookie decorating class. But I've now made, how many months? What's this month now?
10th.
It's the 10th month?
It's the 10 kit.
Oh, so we made
kit.
the 10th cookie class kit. And this one's cute. This is cute.
Here's the thing. Corey and I only designed, I don't design, only thought of classes that we would teach our own audience and I know people are like, but they're so simple looking. Yeah, that's because we don't want people crying at the end. I've taught a lot of these classes and I can see, I even tell people, listen, this cookie that you think is going to be fun, it's going to break you. It's going to ruin your spirits and you're going to have a bad time. So we design these to be easier. I know there's some more advanced classes you can teach, and by all means, but if you're getting started or if you want kind of that entry level person who's just looking to have fun on a Saturday, try these out. I think honestly, I could take the class.
For sure. What I feel like people would do is they want to see that they are as good as the baker teaching them. And by giving them the opportunity to have easier designs, you're giving them that confidence where they're like, that I did it. Mine looked like the baker's look. This is great. I want to take more classes now.
And that makes people have a better time at the end of the day. A little bit of cookie class marketing is making sure that they have a good time and want to come back.
Yeah.
When we keep people in our funnel, again, they're the cheapest person to earn. So Corey and I have booked out of our December class. Well, only 10. Calm down. And the reason why, most of those people are from previous classes where they had a good time.
Yeah. I will say, as a baker, you kind of want to show off your talents. So maybe they could place a custom order with you because you're so talented. But in the class, it's different people.
Yeah.
They're different. There's a different audience there.
It's great to stroke the ego. I love it.
Yeah. I like to
it.
go around in class and be like, ma'am, I need you to struggle a little bit more.
I'm going to just blow your mind with this straight line I'm about to make. But when our focus during the class is so that the people have a better time, and we can do that through easier designs, I find that the people tend to come back on the days where the classes are easier.
Yeah. I don't know.
When somebody cries, I've never seen them again. If we're on the verge of tears, you'll never come back.
So what we try to do is lean towards beginner people, easier classes. You actually get more people that way because you don't have to feel
designed with your bottom line in mind.
There you go. And behind in mind.
Behinds and seats. So that is the cookie.
September comes out today, right?
I'm trying, man.
All right. It's the fattest little pie I've ever did see. He's adorable.
The Corey's big theme of the entire cookie class kit set is roly-poly-oly.
I want chonky.
Yeah, and this pie is basically a circle.
He's so stinking
I was like,
cute.
wow, this is a pie.
And if you're like, well, I don't know what order to decorate the cookies in, I've decorated the set 4 or 5 times now. I set up the PowerPoint so that everything will dry at the same time. And if you worked with royal icing, nothing's completely dry, but it'll be dry enough for them to put it in the box and make it on their way home.
Which is what we've been doing for years now. Did you tell him what's in the class?
Did not.
It is a giant sunflower.
Giant. And he's so stinking cute. And that one has sprinkles on it.
He's chunky. His sun center is ginormous and his petals tiny.
Yeah, because I wanted you to be able to decorate all the petals at once.
Oh, great.
And
Because they're not touching. Thank goodness. Corey, I hate when we have an odd number of petals.
A 5-petal flower.
Because it's a 3
2
slides.
extra steps.
Yeah, so we'll have to say do 2, do 2, do 1.
Yeah.
But when we do 3 and 3, so a total of 6 petals, but this way she's not having the petals touch at all, so we don't have to do crusting.
See, do you see how I've been there, done that? I'm helping you guys with my knowledge.
I wish
of
people
petals.
knew. I wish they only knew.
I wish they knew.
This is not going to stroke your ego, but it's going to stroke that wallet. You're going to open that wallet and you're like, I don't have any room to shove this cash in it. We have a maple leaf, my Canadian Thanksgiving coming up.
This maple leaf, it's an easy, because it's just one color.
I love it. It's going to be a single slide.
It pulled the set in together, and it gives just everything enough time to dry while
Before
you're
you think
on
it's a single color maple leaf with no piping fine lines, it is, but it has a heart in the middle.
There's a heart in the middle.
Which means less costs for you. And you can knock it out in one step, which is great. When Corey gives me
Heather
a
loves a one-stepper.
Yeah, Corey takes the photos. I design the PowerPoint slide. When she gives me a one-stepper and I can knock out a cookie in a single slide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then we have the world's roundest pie. I cannot, if you've seen a chicken pot pie, it would look at that similar bodacious body.
Bodacious body.
A bodacious pie. Then we have an apple. He's got 3 colors and I like him.
I love the shape of the apple. He's got like smaller at the bottom and like bigger at the top.
Again, round.
Round. But it's got a little bit like a tiny hiney on it.
Tiny hiney? Are you talking about me? Then we have kind of a latte.
What is that?
Like a cup?
Latte?
Yeah,
oh, yeah. You
here.
know, like campfire cups, mugs.
Yeah, a little by the fire vibe.
Little by the fire vibe.
Maybe it's an apple cider. I don't know.
Little apple cider. It could be hot chocolate, whatever
Then
your
we
heart
have
desires.
a corn who looks complex, a complex corn.
But he's not.
Who's my hardest cookie? Corn?
Yeah.
Corn?
Corn is the hardest.
Corn is the hardest.
It's got the most steps.
Here's what you can do in these PowerPoint slides. Again, we give you the PowerPoint. You can send it off to your clients, whatever, but you can take out cookies and make it a 5-set class. So some people do a 3-set class for kids.
Yeah.
If I did a kids class, I would do, again, let's say kids class, 3 cookies, 2 colors. I would say
Apple for sure. Maple leaf.
apples, 3 colors.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Then
What if you did the
sunflower?
leaf as a transfer?
You could.
You
We
could.
tried that one time and made it a go.
Only way I know how, Corey. Only way I know how. Anyway, sorry that we've gotten off a tangent. You can sign up. You can pay us for this. For only $63, you get all 10 classes. Are you saying $630, Heather? No. I'm saying for $63 $1 bills, you get 10 complete classes after tonight when I upload September.
I'm going to tell you though. Did I fight Heather on that option to get all the classes for one price? Yes.
Yeah, she did.
You know why?
Yeah, she did.
Because the amount of time it takes
you did.
goes into making a
But
class is
I
insane.
wagered this argument. You're telling me, twin, that we're going to spend this much time, which again, we're operating at a loss on these. I'm just trying to trap people into the college. You're going to waste this much time and people can only have access to it once. So if you that's what you wanted. If you sign up for the college, you get everything forever and always. If you sign up for the cookie class kits until December 31st, you can get all 10 classes. If you sign up by December 31st, you'll get 12 classes.
A little Christmas present for yourself would be sign up in December, get the 12 classes.
Cancel and screw us over.
And
there
then
you go.
could just teach all those classes the next year. And then
yeah.
I have to figure out no classes.
I wonder what you're going to do.
I had no idea. This was my A game was these.
You know what we could, just an idea, is maybe just not follow necessarily a theme,
Right.
but like, birthday.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
A birthday cake. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah. My dog's birthday, my hamster's birthday.
There's only so many ghosts. I mean, you can just make different shapes of ghosts.
Right. Well, you have a very round theme.
I do like the round thing.
You do.
I do. I feel like all the sets they look like.
What if we did like
similar.
next year, like big eyes? Like everything has just giant eyes.
So that's our new theme.
I don't
Everything has
know.
an eye.
Just throwing out some ideas. Moving on to our sponsors, AE Core Backers. I got to tell you, she sent me an email this week.
What?
She had said that they have finally launched this new website. They've got new products. They got the lighting, but they wanted to reward people who wanted to continue to buy from them. So they actually came up with a rewards program that they're launching, which means the more AE Core you buy, the more AE Core you get.
Oh, nice.
I will say that of a lot of the vendors that we work with, AE Core works the system correctly. The vendor blender 30% off, these constantly producing new products, constantly streamlining orders, constantly adding new variety, and now a reward system. Sign me up.
Yeah.
When Panda Express launched their rewards program, it doesn't matter. If I type in any receipts like free
rewards program has me in a chokehold.
I love them. You going to tell me that if I buy something, I get something?
You can buy my loyalty.
Absolutely. I am for sale.
California tortilla. Every 5th time I go, I get $5 off.
Love it. Love it. If you sign up for the college for the year, you get 2 months off. If you sign up for the year, coming up soon, I'll tell you when, you'll get 3 months off. Whoa. Just my little reward to you for taking a chance on us. Plus, you get all the things we've ever made. So every time somebody signs up, we've been doing this for 2 years now. Mm-hmm. 2 years worth of content. Mm-hmm. And it's back to AE Core backers. Sorry.
You're so crazy.
She was doing so well. I decided to toot her own horn. Just tooting horns.
Every time I post a photography tip in the group, it's on an AE Core backers because I want to show you how versatile they are.
She's coming out with 2 newborns.
I know. What colors were they?
Not telling.
I know. I want to know.
But check for that. You can go check them out on Facebook, AE Core Backers, and Instagram. However, I'm fingers crossed she's going to be in the Vondi Blondie.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man.
What if every year just called it with a different vowel? The Vindy Blindie's coming up. The Vondi Blondie will be next year.
We'll only have 5. How many vowels are there?
I think there's 5, and sometimes Y jumps in there. No, the Bindy Blindie.
The Bindy Blindie. That's great for
Australians. So check out AE Core Backers. Corey, take us to...
You can save 20% off your AE Core Backers using Sugar Cookie at checkout.
Yes.
Next up is Royal Batch. Someone on TikTok, I opened the feature where you can just message me regardless if you follow me or not. And someone was like...
You're that desperate for attention.
It was like, please open this up. People want to message you. So, all right.
Okay.
So people are asking about why their icing is hard as a rock, is what she said.
Okay, well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, so I said, actually, corn syrup is something that gives you a soft bite when working with royal icing. So if you have something like you're doing a lot of florals or you're doing like a thick cookie with a ton of icing layers, adding corn syrup to your meringue powder and your icing will give it a soft bite. The great thing about Bakety Bake, which produces Royal Batch, that's the brand of meringue powder, is it already has corn syrup in it. She's done some voodoo in there, and it's like a powder form of it.
People will ask, Corey, I saw this person have an attitude. Corey's reels sometimes go viral, clearly not enough, but when they do, the comments go to trash. Heck in a handbasket.
I know.
And someone's like, yeah, of course, no icing recipe, just bragging about her icing. And I was like, hey, not the baking twin. It's on the back of Bakety Bake. And they're like, oh, thanks.
In the video, I said, please, I even put a graphic, pause to read. Pause to read the recipe.
Of course, there's another influencer getting to spend us money.
My favorite thing is when I was like, and I got this box from Amazon, and the first comment's like, where'd you get the box? Are you listening to me with the sound off?
I prefer sound off.
I like it a little low.
You just don't know where it's going to pell you. I was thinking that TikTok people are recording really loud, really soft. I'm constantly in a state of raising and lowering the volume.
You know what? Because of that, I've always, when I go to edit a video, put it the same. You can choose your volume percentage. I've always chosen 42%.
You know, I know people are going to be like, girls, your podcast is sometimes really loud and sometimes really soft. And it is. And I would like to apologize. You guys keep
what do you do?
That hand on the volume. I don't know. Just sometimes I pick a number and be like, let's make it all sevens.
You have to do it all the same.
Listen, I'm not an audio engineer. I'm not a podcaster. You're forcing me to do things.
When they come to our pages, I want them to have it like, you know, last week I put it at halfway up, my volume, and it was good. So if I put it at halfway up this time, it should be good too.
You guys are going to you're going to play the volume button like an instrument. You'll have no concept.
You can save 10% off of your batch of Royal Batch by using the code TWINS at checkout.
Remember I said people text in for their reviews?
Yeah. Oh yeah, did they?
I don't know. Let me check.
Yeah, so Heather last week, if you're just tuning in this week,
it'd be wildly embarrassing if nobody did.
Said, tell us what your thoughts on our sponsors. Like, did you love them? Did you hate them? And to text in, but you know, you guys are the wild, wild west when it comes to texting in. Sometimes you'll text in nonstop. Heather loves to read them all in one swell swoop.
Somebody said, please go to the doctor for your ear, Heather.
What's wrong with your ear?
You remember? It was on fire last year. I would like to say
it's less red now.
It's very
it's
less
still
red.
A little red though.
You know what? It was like, yeah, I am red. So I'm just going to read this review of Eddie as per request. It starts with, I, all caps, love my BFF Eddie, heart hands, 100% best purchase for my little cookie biz. I purchased specifically to do Polaroid cookies and custom M&Ms for my son's wedding favors, but now I incorporate printed elements in almost every order. I added it to my LinkedIn profile to market printed logo cookies directly to businesses. Other than occasional manual shading, Eddie has essentially replaced my airbrush. I also have invested in the Bowmans. I know her first name. I've never heard sassy trays. Love them for the carousel work and the sprinkle factory tray for the tongue work. And then a surprise emoji. It's hilarious. The question I see most in the group is how quickly Eddie paid for himself. In my case, just under 6 months. But if you consider what I was going to pay for the Polaroid cookies, I would say his money was immediately actualized.
Wow.
I know.
Speaking of our last sponsor, it is Eddie, the edible printer. If you're just new and you're like, I've never heard this, who is Eddie? Where do I meet him? It is actually a printer that is made to print on food. So if you have buttercream, I'm not a buttercreamer. So I don't know, you guys are printing out there doing the Lord's work. Hopefully it don't melt on you.
Why'd you get all southern there?
I don't know.
No. Corey and her husband talk to each other in that accent.
He has a southern accent.
Yeah, but Corey would be like, hey, Nate, what's going down by the old-timey store?
There's something about a southern accent that's comforting.
Then you guys say goodbye like this. Bah. Yeah, like you're two men. Bah. Yeah, that's how they do it. I have a Eddie review plus a Cookie Class Kids question. First off, I wanted to say another all caps, love the Eddie. He saves me so much time. By him, all caps. Also, wondering if there's any way we can get a sneak peek at November and December's Cookie Class sets early because tomorrow me is trying to plan classes now before back to school crazy starts. I was going to assume the answer was no and not to ask, but I couldn't after listening to the podcast. Love you crazy ladies and all you do. Laura, and I'm going to tell you where she's from. You're going to love to say this. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. So you want to tell us what?
Am I like what the themes are or what the actual shapes are?
You know what they are.
What, October's Halloween.
Big-eyed booze.
Let me see. Oh, man. How many photos have I taken since I actually downloaded
that?
I got it. Okay. It's a bat. It's a cute bat.
Is he chunky?
He's a chunk.
Okay.
We have a finger. Which finger?
Let me see. He is good.
He's a chunky finger.
The colors are electric blue.
Yeah, we
purple.
got neon lime green, electric purple, white, and black.
Saw those colors come from a mile away. No orange, though.
You know, we didn't do a pumpkin because I said that would be hard to...
Corey refuses to let you guys reuse a shape from the class before. Because technically, people who are joining the kits right now would need a new set.
You would make them buy a new class. They'd have to go buy an additional cutter.
Yeah, that would not be ideal.
We have a black cat.
That was going to be cute.
He's going to be adorable. Yeah. We have a spider web. You had to.
You can't not.
Someone said, I see little spiders on there. Are you going to make for October a spider transfer sheet?
I have a lot of Halloween requests. I want to let you guys know I got the fruits out there. Bunch of fruits.
Yeah, you
on
did.
The $2 transfer club.
We have a cute ghost. Ghosty with the mosty.
Let me see him.
Boop.
He is chunky.
He is chunky. And then, of course, we
Literally, you could take the apple, flip it upside down, and make that cauldron.
The cauldron. It'll be little dots all over.
That'll be cute.
Adorable.
Okay.
Then
Turkey
Day. We have a side profile of a turkey on the plate. It's cute.
See. He's chunky.
It's cute though.
A football, also chunky.
Football.
The chicken leg, chunky.
Turkey leg. A pumpkin. There you go. Sheboygan pumpkins.
Oh, we got our pumpkin.
Yeah. He had to be for Thanksgiving. I couldn't use him twice.
I had made this thread in the group and it said, let me see the worst cookie you've ever made. And then I thought it'd be so funny if I just roasted everybody. And someone did this, like, a pumpkin. And I was like, it's a pumpkin.
A pumpkin. A pie slice from the
Let me see.
Upward angle.
He's soft, but not chunky.
Yeah. And then a circular.
That is the chunkiest.
Turkey.
That is the chunkiest turkey I've ever seen.
Turkey.
That is a turducken. So that is our Cookie Class kits.
I just sent Sweet Pink all of the December class.
Do you want to tell them what we're doing with the December class?
You can.
We'll tell you next week. So I guess that takes us. Did you get the mail? There's a package.
Did not.
Gosh.
Did not know there was a package.
Were you supposed to tell us about a meringue powder?
Yeah, but I can't remember the name.
Okay. Well, I think you should go home and check it.
Okay, wow.
Do you have a Twinterest?
We had Christmas in July.
We did.
It was a blast.
It was a blast. So my family's big on the gift giving. However, everyone was born right around Christmas. So we call their birthdays second Christmas, which is not ideal for the people whose birthday is before Christmas, me and Corey. Corey. So we came up with, the sisters and my mom,
July's a little lully.
Middle Christmas.
A little lully.
Cap, $50 per gift. Can't go over, can't go under. That I learned. And then you get everyone. There's no rules. And honestly, is the more tchotchke, the better.
It's, it's just something to get you through
Unwrap. Just to unwrap the proxy-eyed Corey.
Christmas music playing in the background.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
I
took everyone out to Outback, and they raided my wallet.
Specs.
Those little magnet beads that we talked about the other week.
Yeah,
Corey got everyone a
that,
set.
and everyone was playing with them. After.
It's addicting.
Felt like Santa Claus.
What did I? I got everyone Corey, you did a reel on this.
I did on my tanked. I actually got his hokas. My husband,
slides.
When I brought him home, my husband
I'm not
says,
young enough to be saying the word slides.
Those are the ugliest shoes I've ever witnessed in my life.
They are the most comfortable
They're very
thing. You'll pry them off my finger toes.
It is
my finger toes will grab them.
It's a flippy floppy, but that's tailored.
It's a slide.
What's the difference?
You slide
just because there's
in,
no flop to
a
it.
flip flop. It makes a sound.
Yeah, the slide you're sliding.
You're sliding, slipping and sliding. But they're comfortable, man.
But they're not. They're not cute. You're not going to win any fashion awards with them.
But they don't have the toe piece, so you can wear socks with them. If you wanted to look more dorky, go ahead. I looked like a dweeb that was comfortable.
But they are very comfortable. They almost like hugs your foot. You feel like a little foot hug, and they're waterproof. So if you want to wear those in the shower and be even more weird.
My mom is addicted to Pottery Barn. She got us these ghost pillows.
My husband's like, what are you going to do with that? Is he going to sit there year round?
You can't use him to relax. He's as round as the Cookie Class kids.
Yeah, so I have a pumpkin that's set out year round, a little stuffed pumpkin, and he's
you don't put that guy away?
Where am I going to put it?
Pomp. I don't know. No. I guess not. So is he sitting with him?
They're sitting together. They're ready and wait for the holidays.
Summer got us each a skincare product she thought we'd like. Me, I got the shower gel. I'm being aggressive in my soap usage. Imagine aggressively using skincare products. Me. Drenched. I'm going to glaze a donut before I go to bed.
There you go. It smelled good, whatever it was.
Why?
Why? O-U-A-U-I. There's a lot of no consonants or anywhere.
It's the Vandy Blendy vowels as a product. What did she get you?
You know that it's like the Peace Out pimple brand has a great exfoliating face wash.
If you like to go to Sephora and be astonished at the price of everything there, and you've walked and hoard to the Drunk Elephant area.
I had to give up Drunk
Elephant.
Elephant.
And Corey found this one, didn't you, from a Drunk Elephant addiction?
This is a face wash. It's not a moisturizer or anything.
Excuse me, misquoted there. But they look like the same packaging.
Yeah, it does. So we got that. Ashley got a pillowcase from Summer. Heather got its little tickets to, what is it called?
Sight and Sound.
Sight and Sound.
Miracles.
We're actually going tomorrow. Smack dab during the work week.
My little sister is addicted to Sight and Sounds. I think they have 2 in the country.
I think there's one down south.
They take Bible stories and do live action. It is impressive. I was kind of blown away. It is very well done. However, it is very far.
It's very far.
And Corey will have to pick me up, because I don't have a car still, at 6 a.m. tomorrow for us to journey.
Do you see why I'm not
to
excited
Pennsylvania?
And
I will be awake
isn't it
when
2 hours to get there.
The Wednesday knows
are 2 hours to get there.
2 and change. There's a Cracker Barrel stop. Somebody asked me that. Of course, I plan this whole thing.
Can I send my candle?
Do you think Mom will let me drive? I'm not going to ask. Do you think she'll let me drive?
Yes, you drove last time.
Yeah, but sometimes my mom will forget to look at traffic lights. But there's a lot of people in the car. And I'll be like, like when you're in the passenger seat, are you supposed to side seat drive?
What sucks is I'm so giving in life that I sit in the very back. Uncomfortable.
Corey does not take the front seat. Shotgun, not cork.
I'm nice because everyone wants to sit there. So why would my big old bun take the best seat in the house? Heather, shotgun and front seat every time.
Hey, listen, I'm telling her to stop. I'm telling her that traffic light is red and we're careening towards it.
How old is she?
Not old enough
85?
to look up.
She's not gotten in one yet.
She was 85 and tell her.
How old is she?
She's 60. That is disrespect.
You used to make fun of her on a post of cachet.
Yeah, okay, so my mom, she's like, my computer's not working. My internet.
You don't have many people of us call it cachet.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, clear the cache. It usually fixes the problem. She's like, yeah, I've already cleared the cache. And I was like, I'm sorry, was that an accident? Did you mean to say that? She's like, no, it's like resume. I said, wow, she's committed to the bit. I said, pronounce the word niche. She said niche. I said, okay, just so you guys know, it's cash. Hey. So that was our Twinterest. Is Christmas in July?
It
Christmas.
was. Also, we're getting way too comfortable with the restaurant employees at the Olive Garden. One forgot to get their morning coffee today and asked me to go drive over there.
Corey was like, see, I'm sitting at the table by myself. Endless breadsticks, endless salad. I was good. Corey was fine. But I guess we'll see you guys next week, assuming my mom stops at the traffic lights.
Assuming.
I'm going to tell her you called her 85 and none of us will be making it.
She looks like she's 21.
I know.
I've been redeemed.
You could sit in the back of the car and think about your action. Okay.